parallel lines carry the design out. I had to think texture on the pot. I had to think texture on the china cup. Um, Once you get your shape, then you can go back and put in your pop marks. You can go back and put in all these little dents. But first you have to create your basic shape of your light hitting one spot and moving gradually around the object. And then usually you have kind of a lighter area here, medium value area that says, I'm going around. This is where you play warm against cool. You have a little reflection in there, which you can play with. But kind of look for design and look for texture in this one. The plate couldn't be very smooth, it's just a flat surface, so I had to say this is the lightest part of the center of my plate. As it moved across, I got darker in value as I moved away from my light source. Now let's look at this one. Another animal. Animals aren't easy to paint, I don't think. Because once again, you have to think what's underneath. You have to think basic form here, basic form here. You have to always work with your light source. And where it's closest to the lightest, as it moves around, it recedes and gets a little bit darker. So I have kind of more or less of a ball shape up here. Here I have kind of a cone shape or a cylinder shape. So this is lighter, it goes around until it goes down and under. You can also see maybe that I've used a lot of color in a white cat, because you can see white, you can see gray. And because this is cool, I chose, as an artist, to make this on the warm side. So you can see this is cool because it reaches into the blues. This is warm because it goes for the sun colors, such as your reds and your yellows. And this is fun to do, to think about. So I really think that's an important part of learning to paint, or learning anything to do with art, the use of warm and cool colors. Oh, this was always one of my favorites, and you may not be able to see that very well. But this, I'll talk about, I won't talk about a lot on this, but I'll talk about contrast, I think. And the stark white of the cup right here, as opposed to the strong dark. And that's just really contrast. As is the light up here as it blends away to my medium value, to my dark value. The red is very intense. Usually I don't like these very intense colors, but when you get a strawberry and a cherry, that's a very strong color. But you can't paint a cherry just red, light red, dark red, medium red. You have to use color in there, and I have a lot of purple in there. The strawberry, I have some purple down here, and warm colors up here. So once again, I'm using my warm and my cool colors. The background is very warm, and that makes the cup stand out a lot more, because the cup is very cool. And once again, I pitted cool against warm. And you can see their reflections here. Have fun studying reflections. Like I say, the best way to study reflections is simply to get a mirror and see how things reflect. Do you have any more questions, Barbara? I have a lot more paintings here. I don't know which are.
No, you're going right along with what you're doing. Is we have studied the meaning of these things. We've studied our colors. We know about our tints and our shades. We know about complementary colors in our shades. We know about complementary colors. But you're putting them into practice for us, which is what?
Yes. Well, this is kind of what I've done. I've used the principles as best I know them.